Nice, man.
I
Yeah, it's
know.
been a while. It ain't the same without you, Jay.
I know, man. I'm like, let's get the band back together. Even though I'm in an undisclosed location, I said I'm coming on today. God damn it!
Oh my
It's in
God.
an
I'm gonna get bit up today.
location.
I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back.
All right.
I said, take it out.
You in a double triple black site, huh?
Yeah. 100%
No,
black.
damn it off. Take it out and put it back. Take the top off. Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen.
How you doing now?
Bro,
All right, how y'all doing?
All right.
doing amazingly well.
I see y'all smoking them stogies.
Damn right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Smoking jackets. That's what we do.
The smoking lamp is lit.
You can't find me a place where there ain't a smoking lamp.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
All right, we got everybody. How's everybody doing?
Doing all right, man. Where you at? You,
All right, how you doing?
you
Yeah,
just
man.
stole
Look,
the house, man.
I was up here talking, and I just realized I ain't add myself to the stream. So all is well, man. Look, I know Jeff. Let me see, what's his name here? Jeff, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Good. Lanessa invited you on. Appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate that. Look, we're gonna get started in a minute. To all the viewers that are on right now on YouTube or either Facebook, look, appreciate you coming on. And Kanyeta, what is she becoming faithful watcher? Thank you so much. We're gonna get into this in just about 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes, folks. Just waiting on some more people to come in the room. Invite you folks in. Bring them on. And we're gonna have a good time with this. I don't know what you call a good time, but I know what I'm gonna have with it. All right. If you're on right now, come on in and give us a sign, an indication that you're on. Say something in the chat. Would appreciate it. And we look forward to just rolling with the topic at hand. Right now, we're going to work on addressing the Second Amendment rights. I'm going to lay back in the cut. I think I'm going to just have to kind of clean it up towards the end. But I got enough folk on here today that got opinions about whatever it is. And I'm going to be kind of the referee today. And I'm going to see and put things in the most proper perspective that I can put them in. Is that fair to everybody? I'm kind of going to be like, man, what's
The
my,
mediator.
you know, my man, yeah. What's the dude that comes on and, man, you know what? I'm going to tell you who it is. Man, Rob, the alpha dude, comes on. Roland, what's his name?
Roland Martin.
Roland Martin.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna let y'all have y'all time.
I thought you was going to say something like Michael Buffer or something. Let's get ready to rumble. Hey, hold on.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
What is up with Vanessa? You look exceptionally beautiful today.
Oh, thank
you. Say what?
I think it's the glasses. It's the glasses.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what it is?
But thank you, Rob. I appreciate it.
You were very welcome.
Y'all like my shirt?
Hey, Rob, you know what? I never thought I'd say this, man. You a sucker.
So can I properly introduce?
Hey, look, you know what? Let me tell y'all something. Y'all don't never see me drinking wine, right? Wine gets me over the top. Okay? I can drink scotch all day long, but wine sets me off. So anyway,
is that Mad Dog?
Rob,
what kind of wine is that? What kind of wine is that? Is that Mad Dog?
Bottles and James.
Hey, you know what? Excuse me. Wild Irish Rose for me, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Wild Irish Rose for me. Hey, look here. So it's 8:05. We 5 minutes behind time. 8:55. We normally get started. We have some technical difficulties, but right now, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get started with some things. We're gonna open it up. Rob, what's going on today, bro?
Not a thing, man. I feel pretty good. I feel like I got a weight lifted off my shoulders. You know what I mean? I'm just chilling,
Right.
Enjoying life for the first time in a long time. I
Man,
feel like I'm ready to make some moves that I can sit back and relax a little bit. You know what I mean? So,
man, you always, a couple times we've been on the podcast. It's some weights that you had to get off your shoulder, man. Look, let me put it in this perspective. The Bible says, "Lay aside every weight that so easily besets us. Run this race, man." What weight you carrying, man?
man, whatever it is going now. It's all the way at the bottom of
It's
that
gone.
Mariana. It's at the bottom of that Marianas Trench, man, over there in the Pacific. I'm good.
Hey, but look, Rob. But I saw a post. Now I'm just gonna say I saw a post, and who was it that said, "Mama said knock you out"? Was that LL Cool J?
Yep.
Man, what's going on, Rob? What's going on, man?
That's the if you notice my lip right here, or is it on the other side? I don't know. Yeah, I'm out here scrapping like I'm 17. I'm fighting people half my age. It's just nuts, man. I'm too old for this.
Yeah, Rob got into a little scrap, Lanessa.
I didn't hear about that.
I mean,
I still got a little something left. I mean,
what were you defending? Can you disclose what you were defending? Like, what was
my daughter?
Okay.
That's it. I don't have to say nothing.
Enough said.
Oh no, ain't nothing. No, hold up. Ain't nothing else to be said.
Exactly. That's what I said. I said enough said.
Nothing else to be said. That ain't nothing else to be said. Hey, Rob, end the discussion. Bro.
There it is.
Hey, Lanessa, what's happening in your world?
Always a whole lot happening. Had a wonderful weekend. The weather was beautiful. I had a pool day yesterday at my girl's parents' house. We had a ball. Just hanging out.
You said pool day?
Yeah.
Now, did you wear your puffing pretty line bathing suit?
I didn't wear that one yesterday. The reason why I couldn't wear it is because we were at mom and dad's house, and you have to be dressed appropriately, even in your swimwear at mom and dad.
Because now, if I remember correctly, Jerry Mack posted a picture of that bathing suit she bought when she was at Petworth Lounge.
Yes.
And I thought the page was gonna get shut down.
Yeah, she made my day when I saw
that.
I
want to say, what? Never mind.
She made your day?
Yes.
Hell, she ain't made my day. Honestly, I know. Matter of fact, you called me and said, "Did you see Jerry Mack rocking my bathing suit?" Blah blah blah. I said it was 3 sizes too small.
No, it wasn't. It was just right. But they are
sexy. According to you.
They're risque, so you have to be careful when you wear them. So that's why I couldn't wear it at pool day.
Yeah. Hey, Bertha Rice Dolly, you on here? That's your best friend. Tell Jerry Mack it wasn't nothing sexy about it. Now, hey Jeff.
But can I finish telling you about my weekend?
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yes, you can. Yes, I want to hear all about it.
So I did a fundraiser too for Malik Shakur. We talked about that. So we had a nice fundraiser. Right. And I went to a real estate networking event for first-time home buyers. I was kind of disappointed at the number of people that didn't show up to learn about purchasing a home. Sometimes people think they can't, they think they aren't ready, but you really need to talk to people who understand and know and can help you get ready. So it's just our people. We have a lot of work to do as far as things that help us build legacies and be stronger in the future. We have a long ways to go, but it's okay. I'm here to help.
Right. All right.
That's what I did.
Hey, got to give a shout out to my brother Eric Bernard Canty, who I'm with right now. All is good. Eric, shout out to you, my brother. Appreciate you for coming on, man. We get ready to do it in a little bit. Glad you came on, man. No doubt. This was Rob. This was the brother that we did the podcast on, the Slapperbees segment. The Slapperbees. The Slapperbees segment. So
I see.
He's on with us tonight. My man from something, South Carolina. We're gonna be chilling in a minute. All is good. Hey,
good to see you again, sir.
Yeah, man. Bertha said that Jerry Mack owned that outfit.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yo, I gotta see this.
Man.
I'm missing something.
You're gonna have to go to the page, bro. So they did the birthday cruise. They did her birthday cruise, and you know, evidently it was an epic time. Hey, Michelle Carter, good to see you on. Kathy Prusia, I hope I pronounced that right. Good to see you on. To all the people that's on, we get ready to move on with the show. Hey, Eric, man, much love, my brother. About to do it in a minute. Be getting up with you after this podcast, my brother. Hey, look, let's go. Jay Furry, what's happening?
I'm good, brother. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm good.
I'm just coming to you live from an undisclosed location.
Undisclosed. Hey, look.
You coming from the black site.
And you know what, Rob? I'm like him right now. I'm at an undisclosed. I got on the bike today, right? The rain messed me up, bro. I was in denial. I said it ain't gonna rain. It ain't gonna do it. It ain't gonna happen, right? But I got on the bike, and sure enough, I had to stop at Walmart, get me a change of clothes because I was in denial. I didn't get no rain, etc. You know, so you know, bought me some fresh underwear, the whole 9 yards, and now I'm posted at a hotel because I'm about 5 hours, 6 hours away from home. But it is what it is. It's my day off.
Yeah. I thought you pulled a Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley and stole somebody's house. So I thought you floating around in somebody's there on vacation. In the pool
actually,
in the back.
I'm in this hotel, right? And I'm probably somewhere I ain't supposed to be because they told me every place I needed to use a room I got to pay for, but I ain't paying for this one. I can tell you that right now.
Wow.
Hey, Rob, Jay Bird, what's up?
Hey, man. Listen, I miss you guys, man. You know, I know it's been a couple weeks since we all got together, and I missed the fam. I missed what we had going on. So I'm just happy to be back here with you guys this week and touch on some shit that needs to be touched on. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got a lot of built up shit inside of me that need to come out.
Woo! I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Let the man speak. Let the man speak.
I hear you.
So we gonna let it fire. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I know we have guests on here tonight, so I'm gonna try to be a little, you know.
Man, look,
it's okay.
You know what?
It's okay.
It is what it is.
I ain't gonna act
to our special guests. Hey, Jeff, what's happening, man?
Not much. How y'all doing this evening?
Man, all is well.
So can I properly introduce Jeff, Chris?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Jeff Arrington is actually a licensed firearm instructor, and I actually met him through, I tried to reach out to find a firearms instructor, and I know some people, but I just, wanted to keep it neutral, reach out to an organization. So I reached out to an African-American firearms group on Facebook. I just hit them in the inbox. I said, let me see what happened with this producer. So they gave me Jeff's information. I called him, and we've been talking since January about arranging a firearms class for, a couple women who can get a license to carry, because it's one thing to be able to get your handgun qualification license to have a gun in your home, but I need to be able to carry. As a realtor, I have felt very unsafe in certain situations. So I said, you know what? I need to go ahead and get my carry permit. And that's a legit reason for me to be able to do that. So
yeah, well, that all changed, sweetheart.
I know. I met Jeff. We talked on the phone, and we're still trying to get it together. I thought he would be great to have on the show to represent the Second Amendment rights, what he does as firearms instructor, and the importance of understanding how to use or not use a firearm. So without further ado, welcome, Jeff. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right.
Howdy.
So,
what's up?
Jeff, what's going on in your world today, man? We after you give us what's going on, we get ready to start this show. People wait.
Let's start it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
let's start it.
Thank you for the wonderful intro.
Look here.
Yes, sir.
There were some things that recently transpired. One, in reference to some gun laws, some reversals here and there. Based on your experience, your qualifications, and we're going to open it up with you right now, and then I'm going to get my co-host involved in this. But based on basically what happened over the course of the last, what was it, about 3 or 4 days now?
Thursday
5
night.
days? Thursday night. You got it, my man. What is your take on this?
Well, first, the Supreme Court struck down a New York gun law that basically was enforced over a century ago that restricts carrying a concealed handgun outside your home. Okay, that's all they did. Now, what that did in turn, it opened up a whole lot of challenges from
Now,
basically 7 states.
yeah. Now, can you do me one favor? When you said it basically struck down a Supreme Court law that was about, what was that law? What was
Well, that
specific?
law, well,
Listeners
that
can
law
understand.
was that law was specifically enacted about 100 years ago in New York that said citizens could not carry a firearm outside their home unless they had a reasonable a need to carry.
Mhm.
Okay, that they were sued. They got sued by the New York Rifle and Pistol Association in conjunction with a couple other private individuals who basically said that, okay, I live in a neighborhood that's been riddled with crime. I go to work late. I need to be able to defend myself. And the state police struck them down, told them no. So both of those gentlemen, in conjunction with the New York Rifle and Pistol Association, they turned around and they sued the New York State Superintendent, trying to get a reversal. And that's when everything ended up going to the Supreme Court. And that's when the Supreme Court overruled that law that basically was enforced over 100 years ago. Now, how that rolls
Okay.
downhill, okay, because this is what a lot of places been waiting on, and really is only affecting 7 states. Okay, everybody act like this is a law that's gonna make changes around the whole country, but it's not. It's only affecting 7 states. Maryland is
Mhm.
one of those states. It's Maryland, New York, New Jersey,
How,
California, Hawaii, and Massachusetts.
how is it, and for what reason is it affecting those states?
Because those states, just like Maryland, is a may issue, not a shall issue. In a shall issue state, any citizen who has who can legally obtain a firearm with the proper training, they can be issued a concealed permit if they run it through whatever means they have to. Some places it's the state police, some places it's the local sheriff department. Okay,
Mhm.
once they submit their application, their background check is ran, and then they're issued their concealed permit.
Well,
Maryland,
look,
yeah.
yeah, Maryland is what?
Well, Maryland and the other states, they do a may issue. May issue means that you must have a compelling need in order to be issued a firearm license.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, look, so here's what I'm trying to understand, really. And because I got, I'm just getting some stuff out of the way real quick. But, you know, I would actually have thought, being that Maryland had a Republican governor, this would make things easy, because I just know what they stand for in the Second Rights Amendment. I'm like, why
Maryland is
is
a liberal
Maryland so
state.
tough?
Maryland
Why
is a liberal
Maryland?
state. It's full of liberals.
Maryland is
Okay.
ran by a Republican governor, and it's still
Only for
liberal.
the,
I'm just
only
trying
for
to.
the past 8 years. Okay. Prior to that, it was Democratic governors. Okay. What's up, Big
Mhm.
Rock? You on mute, dog?
Get off mute, Rob. Get off mute, man. Get off mute.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure I didn't interrupt anybody while they were speaking. But Bob
Right.
Ehrlich and Michael Steele. Bob Ehrlich was a Republican and Michael Steele was a Republican as well. And they were elected back in the early 2000s, and they were both Republicans. They only served one
Right.
term. After them was O'Malley, I believe.
Yep.
So, but go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
All right.
Yep. So basically, what
Go
happened
ahead.
was, yeah. So anyway, with this May issue, um, it's real difficult for law-abiding citizens to obtain a license for concealed carry unless they have a compelling need, such as they have a top secret security clearance and they work for the government or the military. They're ex-law enforcement, retired law enforcement. They've been threatened and it's on record. You have a stalking order against someone. But even those two is very difficult to prove in the court of law. Or you have to have a business where you carry expensive property or you carrying a lot of cash. Or you have the type of job that will place you in a situation like a realtor. And when, like I tell people, a realtor, AC and refrigeration, HVAC repairmen, because they have to go out all times of the night. Plumbers, electricians, these people, they're on call all times of the night. They go anywhere. They got expensive equipment on their vehicle, and boom, so they can all apply for that for concealed carry.
All right. Okay. All right. So, co-host, Jay Ferg, over the course of the last since last Thursday, what's going on with this? What's your take on this, man? And we don't want to spend too much time because we got a very hot topic coming up.
I'm in Florida, so Florida is a wild, wild west type of state. You know what I mean? So like, I've had my concealed carry permit for the past 5 years, and I'm gonna tell you, it's relatively simple to get as long as you don't have no felonies. Like, you can literally take the class, submit your paperwork, and do your fingerprints, and you got a concealed weapons permit. You walk into the gun store, show your permit, show your driver's license, pay your money. 10 minutes, you're out of there with your gun. That's how Florida works.
Yeah, I mean, but look what Florida means and stands for. Look who runs Florida.
That's what I'm saying. Most of our governors have been Republican governors. Over the past, I think the last Democratic governor we had was probably, I can't remember how long ago it was, but it's definitely one of those states where we don't have the red tape. I mean, we're not an open carry state, but definitely getting a permit and getting a handgun or a rifle, assault rifle, is definitely one of those states where we have gun shows almost every other weekend. There's a gun show going on.
So let me ask you a question. How do you personally feel about that versus, because we have all these gun control issues. The Democrats want tighter gun control measures and this, that, and the other. But how do you feel about, does that work for you? Do you think we should have tighter gun control measures in the United States?
I mean, I definitely think in terms of getting people permitted, I do think there should be a mental health component to it. That part I think will definitely help, because if you have somebody that, they may have a clean criminal background, but you don't know what their mental state is and what they're going through, I think there should definitely be some type of evaluation to determine what this person is going through emotionally, and are they stable enough to be responsible as a gun owner and especially as a concealed weapons carrier.
Right. Well, you know what, and I'm gonna get to this. I think the biggest issue really with this is the carry of, or the proponent of the law that people getting all these automatic weapons, AR-15s, 16s, and this, that, and the other, 5.6, 5.56 or 7.62 rounds, etc., magazines over capacity with this, that, and the other, etc. I'm on the fence with some of that. I personally believe the right to carry, yes, and I'm gonna chime in on that a little later. I'm not going to spill the tea right now, but what is your thought about that right there? Because a lot of these mass shootings are coming from these certain caliber of weapons.
Yeah, me personally speaking, I don't think, listen, unless you're out hunting, I don't really see the need to have those type of weapons. Now, there are now, with that said, there are people out there that may be ex-military or people that are just gun enthusiasts, right? But
Mm-hmm.
again, how do we distinguish those people from the freaking people that are just out here, just like with
I get that.
malicious thoughts in their minds, right? That's why I said the mental health part of it. I never want to tell somebody you can't own something, but at the same time, we got to have some kind of checks and balances in place to make sure that when we do allow you to have these things, to not fall into the hands of people that shouldn't have them.
Right, right.
You
Okay.
know, I
All
mean,
right.
definitely, you could have that. I'm definitely not against people owning assault rifles or high
Right.
capacity magazines. But I just think like from a responsibility perspective, let's put the proper checks and balances in place to make sure that they're not getting in the hands. And listen, I'm gonna tell you something funny, right? So I grew up in the Bahamas, right? The gun
Mm.
laws in the Bahamas is you can't have a gun, period, right? But yet you have all these shootings and murders going on. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, the bad people that want to get guns, they're gonna figure out a way to get them guns regardless.
Yeah, they
I
are.
don't care. I don't care what you put in place. If they
I agree.
want to get their hand on a gun to do what they got to do, they're gonna figure out a way to get their hands on that gun, and that's the
Right,
reality of it.
Let me
right.
say something. Um, just like what he just said, and bruh, I definitely applaud what you were saying. There do need to be something in place for mental health checks. Now, me personally, yeah, ex-military, 23-year retire. I'm a gun enthusiast. I'm a collector. I'm a gunsmith. I do some of everything. As a collector, I got more than one.
Right.
Um, I built my own. I just finished building a nice gold-plated AR. Something to do? Okay. So I do build them, and I take them out to the range. I have a good time, and I have ARs that I teach people with,
Hey, but
and
look
we
here,
go
man.
out and we have fun.
Your good time as an African American is different from a good time from some other folk that I know.
That is so true. But see, the problem is this, and I'm gonna be straight up and blunt. The
Yeah.
problem is, all right, if you go back way back to the day, black people was only allowed to have a squirrel gun while they had everything else.
Okay.
Now, now it's on. Now that we are allowed to go out and do certain things, they trying to counter keep us down. Now, back in the day, I was one of the first people to say, if something ever go down, uh, we wouldn't have to worry about them coming into the inner cities because it just ain't gonna happen. But I can never have been so much wronger in my life.
Mm,
I went through SWAT training, not to be a SWAT officer, but just SWAT sniper school.
mm,
We were shooting um, over just under 1,300 yards,
right.
just over half a mile. Okay, and it was heavy rains. The wind was swirling, and we shooting so far out and watching that bullet curve around. But the projections, the calculations, you got to make instant in your head. This is what they are doing. They are training their
Right.
kids at 7 years old
Yes, they
to
are.
be snipers,
Yes, they are.
and our kids
Right.
out here doing something totally different.
We're not ready.
Our
Okay.
mindset has to change.
All right. And I get that. Lanessa, let's chime in with you, and then Rob, when Lanessa gets finished, I want to go on to you, man.
So we're talking about the good, the bad, the ugly of gun control. There's definitely a lot of good in it, but there's so much ugly when it comes to the future. And you guys see where we're headed. We're going backwards, and that backwards includes some, hand to hand. So all I'm saying is we are behind as a people. I went to a gun show. Actually, it's the Great American Outdoor Show in Pennsylvania one year because I'm an outdoors woman. And every room had a different concept. So you have the gun room, you have you know, the boat show room, and all kinds of rooms. When I went into the gun room, I was scared. Why? Because I was probably the only African American female in this huge arena. I'm talking about an arena size room full of guns, and it was just you know, the people who were there and what they were buying was just, I was scared because I saw the difference. You know, a lot of us weren't there, we weren't represented. And it just made me think about how people are building arsenals. You have people in Texas just walking around with
So,
2 guns on their, one on each hip, a gun in their on their ankle, and 3 knives riding a motorcycle. I mean, it's just unreal today
and,
where we
and
are, and people don't understand.
let me
People,
interrupt for a minute, Vanessa, real quick.
Mhm.
Where was this at? Where was this at? Where was it at?
This was in Pennsylvania, but we traveled all over to come to the gun show.
Yeah.
So it's just the amount of
Okay.
people. We're just not represented in some of these places.
Okay. So yeah, and you know,
Mr. Rob.
I'm sorry. I'm great. I'm getting ready to go a little off kilter because I was getting ready to interrupt Jeff for a minute because I thought there was something wrong with Rob because I saw the Deer Park water that he was drinking, and I thought maybe he had. I thought something was wrong, right? But now you got speaking about some things. Now he gonna grab the whole bottle. He ain't even gonna pour it in the glass. He gonna tip it to the head like he on the street corner at 52nd and Pine or something. So I got the feeling it's about to be some going down in a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
So
hand
go
it
ahead
off.
and finish.
No, I want to know. I'm
Yeah.
done because I want to hand it off to Rob. All I'm saying is we're not ready. We're not ready, and we need to get ready. So I'll just go ahead and pass it to Rob.
That's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy because, ooh, man. You know what? Yeah, if you ain't ready now, look, Rob, you know, I'm going to turn this thing over to you in a minute. I told mine to shoot when he was 7 or so, you know, guns will not be fair. All right, yeah. You know, there's a lot of people on the fence with, you know, some of what, you know, we're talking about here. Rob, how you doing, man? You all right?
I'm hotter than these damn
What is that,
Carolina
man?
Reaper nuts right here. That's how hot I am
All
right
right.
now. I'm hot. I'm hotter. I'm
All right.
hotter than these cherry peppers. You see these peppers right here?
Come
That's
on,
how
Rob.
hot I
Come on,
am right
Rob.
now.
Come on. Come on.
You know, y'all. All right. Well, first off, I want to say thank you, everybody, for listening and kicking me over here. But what I want to know is, the hell you getting ready for? You talking about folks are talking about their kids are doing this, their kids are doing that, and we ain't ready. What are you trying to get ready for? A civil war? Are you trying to have a race war or something? What are you trying to do?
We don't know. We don't know
Because
what.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. The black
Let him
community has been
finish.
trying
Let
to
him finish.
the black community has been trying to get rid of our goddamn guns for so long that we don't have it. Okay? All the cops and the people that we don't like and the ones that are oppressing us, they're the ones that's got the guns, not us. Okay, so if you're trying to get ready and all, you're a little late to the party, y'all. But that's neither here nor there. That's just my opinion on that. So very rarely do I ever talk about my qualifications or who I am, or I don't like talking about myself like that. I just usually offer my opinion and then I just let it go and just go straight in and into the flow. But yeah, I was a cop at 20 years old. I went into special operations. I have multiple special operations combat tours. I was a SWAT officer. I worked undercover, the whole 9 yards. But my specialty that I do now and have been for the last 15 or so years is that if a soldier overseas in Afghanistan or if a soldier overseas in Syria or someplace pulled the trigger on a rifle and a true assault rifle, okay, an M4 or M16, which is an assault rifle. And an AR-15 is not an assault rifle. Okay, if they pulled the trigger on an assault rifle and the rifle went click instead of bang, or the rifle blew apart in the middle of a firefight, when I came to work on Monday morning, that rifle would be in pieces sitting on my desk here in Pickentini Arsenal, New Jersey. My job as a mechanical engineer was to reconstruct what happened, or reconstruct the rifle, figure out what it was supposed to do, figure out what happened, write a white paper on it, and then make modifications and changes to make sure that it doesn't happen again. I did that for a very long time.
Hey, Rob, let me interrupt you for a second. I'm getting a lot of feedback from you. Do me a favor,
okay.
cut the volume down on your computer.
Is that better?
Because I'm getting a lot of feedback. Yeah. What's
that?
Is
that
yes,
better?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that. Like I hadn't been talking, so I wasn't quite sure. But anyway, those are my qualifications and all that crap. So anyway, what I want to say is this: when we going back to the Second Amendment decision and how the gentleman Jeff was talking about it affects a certain amount of states. He's absolutely correct. Now, I own property in both Pennsylvania and Maryland. I spend a majority of my time in Maryland, so I'm down here a lot of times, but I still have a Pennsylvania permit and I keep a Pennsylvania permit. I've had one ever since I was 21 years old. I do not think that getting a mental health evaluation is going to actually help quell this gun violence that we're experiencing right now. The reason why is because, number one, what kind of battery of tests are you going to do that's going to give you an accurate depiction of what a person is experiencing right now for that moment? Like emotions, mental health moods ebb and flow and they change. So what you're telling me is that I walk into a gun store, like in Pennsylvania. I walk into a gun store, I show them my driver's license, I fill out the paperwork, I give them my credit card, I pick out the gun, and then 15 minutes later, after they call the Nix's background check on me, I'm out the door with my pistol. Okay, that's how it works in Pennsylvania. But what type of mental health evaluation are you exactly referring to? Because I think the mental health evaluation that you gentlemen and lady are referring to doesn't exist yet. On top of that, it's a violation of that person's HIPAA laws and their rights. Okay? My mental state is none of your business when I walk in there to exercise my Second Amendment right. I don't need your permission to exercise my Second Amendment right. That's what they came out and said on Thursday night. You're infringing too much on my right. Okay.
Right.
Now, what about the rights of the victims?
What about? Right? I don't come to your church and make sure that if you're a Muslim that you're not a fundamentalist or a factionalist or that you're not worshiping at Bin Laden's feet or anybody else's, right? So who are you to tell me what kind of gun I can buy and what kind of state of mind I have to be in when I buy it? You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is this. That's why exactly the 7 states are getting slapped right now, because this real and prudent cause that they are talking about, you needed in order to show that you wanted the permit, okay? It's unjustifiable. It's a violation of the Second Amendment rights. And so when you go talking about mental health evaluations and stuff like that, it's none of your business what you're suffering from. You have the right to purchase that weapon because it says so in the Constitution, not because it makes you feel good about yourself. Just because you're scared of whatever doesn't mean that my rights stop. I couldn't care less about how you feel about me owning 5 AR-15s and 7 M60s. That's your problem, not mine. So that's, I mean, right, again, I have the. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Chris.
One second, because I need for you to kind of correct and adjust your volume just again. I'm getting. I don't know if everybody else is getting it. I'm getting some feedback.
If everybody puts it on mute, then we won't have a problem.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, no. I put everybody on mute myself. Okay. So here's my thing, right? I have seen posts. I've seen posts of yours that when we've had these mass school shootings and some other things going on, and your response to that. I believe that some of these people had some mental issues going on, man. And
you have to have a mental issue to shoot up a school. You got to be a damn.
That's true. Well, you know what? Either you got a mental issue or you got a vindictive problem against, this, that, or the other. And I think, first of all, here's the thing. When you turn 18 years old and you able to go into a gun shop and buy certain things and this, that, and the other, and then, let me say rifle, because you can't go buy a pistol, but you can go buy a high caliber rifle, this, that, and the other, and walk in there and buy this, that, and the other, and then the next day go shoot up something. There was something wrong with that individual from the onset. So I think that, and no, let me rephrase that. I'm not going to say I think that. But if the laws were a little bit stringent, that, if you had to be, first of all, 21 years old to go buy a pistol, 21 years old to go to drink alcohol and et cetera, responsibly, before you can go buy a rifle, et cetera, or something like that, then there ought to be something in place to say and to test your mentality Look, if I go into the Marine Corps, if you go into the Army, I got to take an ASVAB test. That one speaks to my ability to function in this particular job or that particular job, or to evaluate my IQ on what they could give me, or what I can get about this job. And then there's also the mental aspect of the ASVAB test, the test to your particular, character. So how's that a violation? Come on, man, talk to me. Go ahead. You ain't got to raise your hand.
Okay. Number one, the military, the military, and all that stuff is a direct result of the Second Amendment and the citizens' rights. Okay, you are the citizen does not exist because the military exists. The military exists because the citizen exists. Okay, the M16, the M4 assault rifles that they use in the military are actually beefed up clones of the original AR-15 that was developed in the 1950s. Okay, the 1950s, the rifle Eugene Stoner that he created when he worked for Armalite Industries, it was Armalite Rifle Model 15. They took it and then they beefed it up and sold it to the military when they sold the rights to Colt. All right, so that's where the rifle comes from. It's just a sporting rifle. Okay, and so everyone's running around talking about assault rifle this, assault rifle that. Actually, the AR-15 was the original rifle that was not a combat rifle. And you show me one person that's willing to carry an AR-15 into combat, and I'll show you a fucking fool. Okay,
got that right.
And that's the honest to God truth. They're not built for combat. All right, and so let's not get our. And that's exactly what the Supreme Court is doing. That's what they're attempting to do right now. They want to make sure that we are not getting ourselves misconstrued here. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because that brings me to my next point.
Oh, Lord.
Okay? So we're not going to talk about this portion because we haven't gotten there yet, but we're going to jump down to the second paragraph. So number two, Second Amendment is a right. It was ratified in 1791. Okay, so every citizen in the United States of America since 1791 had the right to keep and bear arms. Since Thursday, it seems like they snatched our rights away from us, and then they sell them back to us in the form of pistol permits, licenses, and all that stuff, so that they can get their little pound of flesh. But they're selling your rights right back to you. All right, if you don't like guns, don't buy one. Okay, my problem is when you don't like guns, and so therefore you don't want anyone else to have a gun either. That's not only not fair, it's unconstitutional, and it makes you look like an ass. But the 2002 ruling, carrying in public for self-defense is a right. Okay? Saying that, like Lanessa, her being a realtor, like maybe you carrying large sums of money to the bank deposit at night. Those are justifiable reasons. But your safety to you is no more important to you than my safety is to me. So if I live in Pennsylvania and I want to go to New Jersey with my family, what you're telling me is that my pistol permit in Maryland or in Pennsylvania, my safety in Pennsylvania is secondary to my safety. It doesn't make any sense. Everyone, the entire jurisdiction of all the citizenry have a right to self-defense. It doesn't matter what straight lines you cross. They've been selling our rights back to us in the form of license fees. Okay, it's not right. And then when we come down here to the bottom, of course, I got to do my little stick right here for the Republican Party. For a long time, we've wanted to make the abortion a state issue and the Second Amendment right a federal issue where they belong. If you think about it, abortion was federally because of Roe Vs Wade, and we'll get into that. They were pushing it nationwide, but in actuality, and you can ask Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she agreed, and so do a lot of other people, that it should have been a states' rights issue. And meanwhile, the Second Amendment, which is in the Constitution, has always fallen to what? It's always fallen to the states, when it should be a federal issue. There's no reason that if a gay marriage license in California is honored in California and it's honored in all 50 states because it's a government document, then your pistol permit that you get in Pennsylvania, Utah, Florida should be honored in all 50 states as well because it's a government document. We're picking and choosing what we're doing here, folks. It's not right.
Absolutely, we are. So, Rob, when you were talking about mental health, I'm just going to chime in real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't agree with everything you said, but one thing I do agree with is that an evaluation today may not be the evaluation of tomorrow. Because what happens when that person, there's something called somebody snaps. So you can't evaluate when somebody has a trigger that makes them use that weapon for a different malicious purpose. So I do agree that it doesn't cover everything, but it does get some information, going in the door. But things can change. So I agree with that part of it.
Well, let me say this. For the longest time, if you look at the states, just like you mentioned, Pennsylvania, Texas, North Carolina, Virginia, Florida, all these states have concealed carry laws. They have shall issue. They have open carry laws. All right, and as far as people thinking it's going to be some wild wild west show if Maryland go shall issue, it's not. I mean, it's no wild west show in these other states, and it's not going to be one in this state. And and like I say, I think one of the things they need to look at is educating the public. We need to educate everyone on firearm safety. That's one of the things that I'm always pushing is to educate children. Our kids go out here, they find a gun on the playground, they go back thinking, hey, this is what it was like when I was playing that video game. Pick it up, pull the trigger, boom, now somebody is shot. I think we need to spend more time on education, educating the kids about firearms, educating the public, and just move it. We need to spend our tax dollars on things that matter and not the things that doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I am going to sum this up real quick because we're getting short on time, and I know the next topic is going to be pretty much a humdinger. I want to get this wrapped up. At least we normally run an hour by 9:15. But look here. Here's my perspective, and my perspective is this: I am for the Second Amendment. I believe everyone should have the right to carry. I believe that it should come with some training. I believe that it should come with some scrutiny. People will argue that there's a violation of that and etc. But we're living in some different times where the mindset of people are not the same of the mindset of people from back in the day. There are some things that I believe that triggers our young individuals, African American and Caucasian, as well as brown folk, etc., here and there. They are in the form of some even video games. The thrill, the seeking, the things that they play that they will go out and enact and play out. So here's why I say I think that Michelle Carter put it right there. Education is key. My man Jeff put it in perspective. Education is key. I think we have to have a little bit more scrutiny in terms of what's going on with this particular topic. I would love to have AR-15. I would love to have M16, etc. I mean, I went in the military at the age of 18. I shot them. I went to sniper school, 3rd Marine Corps Battalion, Dragon School in Okinawa, Japan. And so my training I feel is solid, but I know what it's like to hit a target, etc., so forth and so on. I even know what it's like to even shoot an individual. Some people look for the thrill of that and look, through. They live out certain things. I mean, even growing up, dealing with my kids, I would not even let them listen to certain things because the rap today, people enact what they hear, what they absorb, and etc., so forth and so on. So to put this in perspective, I believe, certainly as we talked about this, yes, there is the Constitution as we said it. There's some things that need to be I believe, amended, and but I do believe in the right to carry, because again, there's some folk that's gonna get what they can get and carry, and I feel I need to protect myself. And so, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And so we're not going to belabor this too long. I want to move on to the next topic, and that is Roe versus Wade, the decision of what happened. And I'm going to turn this over to Vanessa Terry, being the woman that she is, and say, Vanessa, how has this decision impacted you as a woman?
Well, I have to say that it was a very sad day as a woman to hear that decision come down. I had a feeling it was going to definitely happen when they said it might. And when it did, I just felt like we were definitely going backwards in an instant. Um, on a personal level, I know where my life would have been had I, not made the decisions I made years ago to do certain things. We've all made, had tough choices and tough decisions to make.
Right.
Even our parents, our grandparents have been through situations as women, and we would just be in a different place. So I feel like, not having that choice, and I know it doesn't affect every single state. I know some states, have laws in place where that's not going to change. We certainly hope. We didn't think this would happen, but it happened. But definitely, it brought up a lot of emotions. I even had discussions with my mother. She cried 3 times that day. So it's definitely emotional for a lot of people on many levels. And it's not just the right to choose what to do with your body, but it's the impact, the social and economic impact of this decision that hurts me as well. So just knowing what can happen as a result, and how it can change things in society is what I'm struggling with. So that's my
Uh,
thought.
let me ask you a question.
Hmm.
Aside from aside from rape or anything like that, which, in the instance, if you're raped and you get impregnated, um,
Hmm.
and you find out you're impregnated through that particular circumstances, and you decide you want to go get an abortion, okay, versus um, just having consensual sex
Hmm.
and then getting pregnant. Um, what, is there a difference between the two that says you know what I had consensual sex, I got impregnated, I'm gonna get an abortion? Do you think? Come on, where's the boundary?
There's no boundary for me. I believe in pro-choice. Period. Whether it's
Okay.
consensual sex, rape, incest,
Mhm.
there's a lot of different factors and things that can happen. So I'm pro-choice, regardless. That's where I stand.
Now, not that you would even know,
Mhm.
but let's say your mother had you were impregnated, she was impregnated, and she got an abortion, you wouldn't be here today.
You're right. You're right. I'm here, so I can't speak
Yeah.
for if I wasn't here, but I almost didn't make it, Chris. To be honest with you, I found out I
Uh,
almost didn't make it. So
mm,
I literally had that conversation with my mother on Saturday.
right,
She told me some things that I didn't know at over 50
right.
about her. So it was, yeah, we had a moment, but
Okay.
I still stand where I stand on that.
Okay. And I get that. I understand. Um, Jay Ferg, where you at, man? Where you at, Jay Ferg? Where you at? All right, Jay
I'm
Ferg.
here.
There you go, my man. Jay Ferg, what you got to say on this situation here, man?
Well,
Good reversal.
I kind of when it first came up when the topic first came about a few years ago, when individual states started, with their abortion, changing their abortion laws. Um, I'm always going to be a pro-choice type of person. Um, but I think overall, I think there's a deeper, there's some deeper things going on here, and I think it was kind of verbalized this past weekend when there was a rally, and I forgot the lady's name, but she was standing next to Trump, and she said that she was thanking him for preserving white lives. And I think that statement spoke volumes, because I know there was a statistic done after the last census that was essentially saying that I think that by the year 2030, that white people were going to be the minority in this country based on the amount of abortions that were being performed by white women, right, versus the amount of people of color and minorities that were having babies. So I think if you look a little deeper than the surface of what's going on, that's where it kind of struck me the most in terms of why this was overturned in the first
Yeah.
place.
Yep.
And that's why I think a lot of people are missing that part of it. Is deeper than just. I know we were talking about it's going to disproportionately affect the black community, whatever. But I think as you look at the big picture of why this is happening, I think
Mm.
it's bigger than just um, uh, affecting black people. I think I just definitely think it's an overall agenda that's being addressed. And I wasn't surprised to see when it happened. Like I said, I've been reading about this for the past 2 or 3 years, and kind of watching it. So it was no surprise to me to see the outcome of what happened this past week. I think it wasn't a matter of if, it was just a matter of when it was going to happen.
Right.
But and that's where we are now. So I think at the end of the day, I think the powers that be and whoever, whatever agenda was being addressed and met, I think that they got it accomplished by getting this law overturned. But it's going to be a can of worms, because now you're going to look at other laws that are going to be addressed. I think Clarence Thomas touched on it. Same-sex marriage and all the other stuff. They're going to look at a bunch of other stuff and start to look at what can be overturned. So I think it's like
Mm.
it opened up a can of worms now, to where it's like everything is open for discussion now.
Yeah, and I get that. Yes, sir. And you definitely hit on something that as they uh came to fruition with a couple of things. I mean, there are some other laws they're gonna have to look at. I mean, one is same-sex marriage. It could be a reversal in that as well, and that's gonna be a hell of a topic that will just set off the entire world. This has impacted it in some kind of way, but that one there, oh man, I can see it now. Hey Jeff, I know this is a year for table since you on here. Let's hear from you, man. What you thinking, man?
Just like my man just said, I agree with everything he said. But to me, it's a woman's choice. A man can't sit here and tell a woman what she can and can't do with her body. And
Mm,
let's just say if that child is born and there's a problem with that child, the parents don't want that child, who's going to take care of that child? Okay. So, but bottom line, I can't tell a woman what to do with her body. No other man should be able to tell a woman, you need to carry this child for 9 months or whatever, especially if you can't financially take care of that child. So
mm.
that's just how I see it.
All right, Rob, what's happening, man?
Dun, 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 dun.
Ooh, there's about to be some Dragonago bull. Hey, go ahead, man.
I actually I've been kind of studying this for a little while. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I've been kind of studying this for a little while, and the very first thing that caught my attention is when Ruth Bader Ginsburg made mention that the 1973 Roe versus Wade ruling was conducted erroneously by a bunch of activist judges in 1973. Now, I agree. Now, let's go ahead and deal with the elephant in the room. I'm Catholic. All right, so I don't believe in abortion at all under only two circumstances that I kind of agree with it, and that's under rape and incest. I think that, or if the mother's life is in danger, I'm okay with that. Any other circumstances, just using it as a form of birth control, or because you're too lazy to put a condom on, or you're too lazy to take a pill every day, then I'm not with that. That's just me. But I also believe that I don't have a right to tell a woman what she can and can't do. So I'm kind of like, that weird percentage that just kind of feels as though live and let live. If that's what you want to do and that's how you feel, then go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. It doesn't bother me what it is that you choose to do with your body as a woman. But I will tell you this. Because always know there's a caveat with me. Mr. Petworth, there's a caveat with this.
Because I just gotta say it, because I was about to have an I be damn moment.
I hate to let you down, bro. I hate to let you down. So this is me coming in and lifting you up. All right.
Yeah.
And my thing is this: don't make me pay for it. Okay.
Right.
I'm not paying for it.
Right.
Because I should have a say where my money goes. And if I can't tell you what you can and can't do with your body, but you're using my money to fund it, then I won't shut up about it. Okay? I'm going to be in your face about it, just like I'm in the face of my senators. I'm in the face of my congressman. I'm in the face of my president. I'm in the face of my sheriff. I'm in the face of everybody on my delegates, because I want to know where my tax money is going. And if you're going to be using my money, because next they're going to get rid of the Hyde Amendment. Okay? But there are portions of Medicaid that are being used. There are portions of state funded grants and stuff that are being used to fund Planned Parenthood abortions. And my thing is that my faith will not allow me to condone that type of behavior. Not only does my faith not allow it, I don't allow it. I don't believe in it. And so therefore, if you want to go get an abortion, by all means, please go do whatever it is that makes you happy. Don't expect me to pay for it. And if you want me to pay for it, expect to hear this mouth, because you're going to hear it. Now, as far as the ruling is concerned, the ruling, what's really funny that cracks me up about Democrats? I'm going to tell you what cracks me up about Democrats. You guys act like the 10th Amendment doesn't exist. It only exists when you want it to exist. Okay? Abortion is not a right. It's a medical procedure. That's also a reason why I have no right to tell you what to do with your body, because that's between you and your doctor and your God. And I have no say anywhere in there. Okay. I have no right to open my mouth and say anything. And I accept that. I know that. I got that. But the thing about it, though, is abortion is not a right. It never was a right. It will never be a right. The 10th Amendment kicks all things that are not listed in the Constitution right down to the state level. So the same way that our rights to carry firearms, the same way that our driving privileges are regulated, the same way that the state regulates certain things about our lives, the states regulate abortion now. It doesn't mean that they're outlawing it, because they're not. It doesn't mean that they're making it illegal, because they're not. The states that have abortion right now are never going to get rid of it. And the states that do have an outright ban, you know what you can do about that if you live in that state and you want an abortion and you don't like the laws? You go vote. You go vote. On the federal level, they don't care anything about you or how you feel. But if it's in your state, let's say, for example, Mississippi has an outright state ban on abortions, right? Which is a fact. If you live in Tupelo, Mississippi, and you don't like the fact that they have an outright ban on abortions, carry your ass on down there to Jackson or whatever the daggone state capital is down there, and you vote to change that. Because now it's in an arena you're. Sorry about that. Change that. So now what they did was they took they took the abortion fiasco and put it into an arena so that every citizen has a say now. Because when it was up there, it didn't, like, people like me felt like we were getting shortchanged. Did you see the other decisions that they made in regards to Catholic religion and stipends and stuff? That these two rulings weren't the only two rulings that the Supreme Court put out. They had a ruling up in Maine where they were saying Catholic schools were not allowed to accept federal or state assistance because they were private schools. Well, the thing about it is that the Supreme Court said it's unconstitutional. So they came out and ruled in favor of, religious schools. So there's a lot of things going on here, and there's a lot of moving pieces. But the things that matter is that abortion is not going to be outlawed. It's not illegal. If you don't like it, you can vote with your feet. If you don't like your state where the laws and stuff, you can vote with your feet. Or you could go and you can lobby and you could change the laws yourself, because now you have the authority and you have the capability to do it. You have the power to do it yourself. So, people like me, we're going to stay out of your way, because you have the right the same way I want to carry a gun, to defend myself. If you want to go get an abortion, that's your right too. I mean, well, that's your purview. Okay. But that's how I feel about it.
Hey, and man, I appreciate the candidness of your remarks, conversation. I definitely, hey, I thought it was going to go another different way. And so my perspective as we get ready to close this segment,
I can be respectful sometimes.
But we didn't see the board.
I never said, look.
Chris, we didn't see the board.
Rob,
we didn't see Rob's board.
We didn't see the board.
We didn't see the abortion board. Yeah, let's talk
That's right. Got to bring the board. Got to bring it.
Abortion is not a right. It was never a right. Roe versus Wade had activist judges in 1973. Just ask Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Can't, because she's dead. It's not illegal or outlawed. Check the state that you live in. Plessy versus Ferguson. Everybody, there's conspiracy theories and stuff like that. The Supreme Court has gone back and visited other decisions by previous Supreme Courts over 230 times. Plessy versus Ferguson was one of the decisions that they reversed. Okay? Trust me, it's a great thing. Google it. The Hyde Amendment. The Hyde Amendment states that basically you're not allowed to use federal funding to pay for abortions. Mark my words, they're going to try to get rid of that.
Lanessa, you satisfied with the board?
I'm satisfied. I just had to see the full scope of it. Thank you.
I understand. So before we close, I get asked this particular question all the time, being in the particular calling situation that I'm in. I've spoke with some individuals, like-mindedness, profession, calling such as mine. And, I'm going to have to say this from Rob's perspective. Biblically speaking, he said of the Catholic faith, and I'll say of this. In the book of Judges, they had the right to choose prospectively who would live or who would die. Did God give them that right? Not necessarily, but did God also command that whoso shall do this shall be stoned to death? Or this, that, or the other, based on certain Levitical laws? He gave instructions on who shall live and who shall die. Did he so much give that power to man or to woman? Not necessarily outright, but he did also command. Does that mean that a woman or a man should have the right to choose over life or death? I necessarily don't think so, but as it pertains to a woman, because I'm gonna tell you, I was at an event yesterday, a cigar event, where we were on 15th and Pennsylvania Avenue, and there was a parade or a protest on this particular topic. And man, when I saw those individuals come through that particular street, man, every woman and just about every man went forth and they were clapping and applauding a woman's right to choose. I'm gonna say this: the Bible doesn't specifically speak on the topic. It doesn't. And it doesn't say a yay or a nay. There's only certain scriptures that individuals can speak of that says only God can, choose, etc. Then there's a particular topic in the Bible that says, well, we ought to obey the law of the lands and governing ourselves accordingly. Matter of fact, let me just pull it up and say Romans chapter 13, the Apostle Paul writes that everyone must submit himself to the governing authorities. And when I say governing authority, matter of fact, it was Jesus that said, render unto Caesar what is his, pay your taxes. Okay. That's about all I'm going to say on that. I mean, because we could agree to disagree. We could go back and forth. We could, but, at the end of the day, until the judgment comes, only God is the one that can judge us for what we do and the decisions that we make. So be it. If it's a woman's right to choose, it's a woman's right to choose. If the state or the law of the land says that you can't do this in this particular state and you got to go to another state and do what you have to do, then so be it. It is what it is. I thought that I might come on here and be even, I'm on the fence for it. I've been in the situation where I've dated the young lady and I know I wasn't ready for no child. I said, well, what you gonna do? And but that was her right. And now Rob, she was like, well, you gonna pay for it? And in my mind, I was like, girl, I ain't ready for this. I ain't ready for this life right now. Boy, I said, payday is next week. So I'm just saying, man. So look, I know some may, I got 5 minutes because I'm hungry, I'm tired. I've been on my bike all day. I've been riding. I was wet. I got to, and if I got 2 minutes for some questions. If I don't see no questions in 2 minutes, we're gonna end this segment. Rob, I want to thank you for your comments, man. Most certainly, the board is always an impeccable addition to our show. Lanessa, thank you for being so transparent. Hey, Jeff, man, I thank you for coming on, giving your professionalism and professional on the topic of the Second Amendment. Jay Ferg at the undisclosed location, man. Enjoy your vacation. Enjoy your time. We are not going to disclose. I don't even know where you're at, man. I don't even care. Just have fun. Do what you do. And don't drink the water. Rob, I'm going to let you close us out, man. I'm done. I'm looking for the next segment. This is the fourth Monday, and we are coming again together on the second Monday of July. I know I'll be on travel then. I'll be in Las Vegas, but we're going to make it happen. The Cigar Retailers show in Las Vegas. Rob, why don't you close us out, man? What you got?
Nothing. I just want to wish everybody the best. Try not, whether you agree with the decisions or you disagree with the decisions, try not to let it beat you up too much. Just my biggest thing is just do your research. Just dig into it. If you're killing a couple hours, if you're laying in bed and reading a book, grab that iPad and start Googling things and educate yourself on it. And you'll be surprised what you find out. You'll be surprised what you learn. And, until then, God bless all of you. And thanks for tuning in.
I agree 100%. Look, that's our show. Tune in with us on the second Monday in July. We look forward to another great segment. Appreciate y'all. We're not just about cigars. We're not just about what cigar is this or what cigar is this. This is everyday topics, everyday life. We like to smoke while we enjoy what we talk about. That's why it's called the Smoking Jacket Broadcast. And we appreciate you tuning in. We look forward. Share the program, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Smoking Jacket Broadcast with Mr. Petworth. And we look forward to seeing you again. To all, God bless. Good night.